Kennedy Smart told me the story that they were making visits out. He and Dr. Kennedy were making visits, evangelistic calls on people, and it was totally out of Dr. Kennedy's comfort zone. And so they were calling on a man, and they went in to share the gospel, and he asked the fellow, would he like to receive Christ? And he said no. And he said, okay. And so he kind of went around again with the gospel, and then he said a second time, he said, would you like to receive Christ? And the fellow said no. So he said, okay. And so they wound down the visit, they went out, and they got out in the car. And Kennedy Smart said he put the key in the ignition, and then he sat back. And Dr. Kennedy was a passenger, he said over there. He looked at him, he said, well, what's the matter? He says, I've got to go back in. And he says, what for? Do you forget something? He says, no. He said, I've got to go back in. There's just something about it that God's telling me to do this, that fellow needs Christ. And Jim Kennedy, his fear went up extremely at that point. He said, well, the guy already told you. He no twice. And so Kennedy Smart said, well, you can stay in the car, I'm going back in. And so he went back, they both went back in. And he knocked on the door. Kennedy Smart said he knocked on the door, and the guy opened the door, and he says, I'm so thankful you came back. He said, I've been here in the house by myself since you left and went out. He said, I've been asking myself, why did I say no? Why did I say no? And so they went back in, and Kennedy Smart led him to the Lord. That was tremendous. The next day, they were making other visits. And they didn't have cell phones like they do today. And so the Secretary Kennedy Smart knew where they were going to be. And so she called and got a hold of him at this house. And he said, you remember the house you visited yesterday, the fellow? Kennedy said, yes. He said, well, you need to go back there. I don't know what it is, but they're asking you to go back. So he said they went back, and when they pulled around the corner, they saw a lot of emergency vehicles and police cars and so forth. So they went up the door, and the police were at the door and didn't want to let him in. And there was a body on the floor covered by a blanket, and it was a fellow that led the Lord the day before.
Wow.
And his wife. And she said, no, let them in. I want to see them. So they figured, well, they were pastors and they were going to make a pastoral call. But she said, you know what? When I came home from work yesterday, my husband was a changed man.
Oh, wow.
He was just a changed man completely. But he couldn't tell me what it was. But he said that you had come and shared something. What you shared with my husband, I want you to share with me. And while that fellow's body was laying on the floor there,
wow.
Kennedy Smart shared the gospel with her, and she prayed and received Christ in her heart. Jim Kennedy, this young pastor, was sitting over here and watching that whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
Jim said, this has got to be the way.